Hello and welcome to video 5 of our Garden Stars sampler tutorial. All right, this one, so far we have, in our first video, we got everything organized. Everything was in our little baggies and ready for our demo. In our second video, we did the New England star block. So I've got 2 of the New England star block made and ready to go. Remember, with each block, we're making 2 of each. We got our sawtooth star done. We got our patchwork sawtooth star. And this was the same as the sawtooth, except that it had a 4 patch in the middle instead of a solid middle. And then our next block that we're going to be doing is the pinwheel star block. And it has this beautiful pinwheel in the center here. And this one is going to use a combination of the 2 units that we've done so far. It's going to have your half square triangles. The half square triangles are going to be here in the middle and on the 4 corners. And then it's going to have 4 flying geese units that are going to be around the edge here. So it's going to have both your half square triangles and your flying geese, and those are both units that we've used in previous squares, or previous blocks. All right, I've gotten started here. I'm going to demonstrate again our half square in our flying geese. So for the flying geese, we have drawn a diagonal line across the back of our color square. I'm going to lay it right sides together. That is my stitch line. So I'm going to stitch on that stitch line. Then I'm going to trim about 1/4 inch from that stitch line. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to finger press it into place. Then I'm going to lay the other square here, and I'm going to stitch on that other stitch line. Again, I'll trim about 1/4 inch from that seam, open it up, and then I'll press and square this one up. So let me put it here. So that one just needs to be pressed and squared up, or pressed and trimmed. Now, in the center here and on the 4 corners, you have half square triangles. Can you press? In the center here and on the 4 corners, you have half square triangles. With our half square triangles, we'll do the same with these that we've done with all of our other half square triangles. We're going to draw a line, a diagonal line across the back. Just like we've done with all our other half square triangles and our flying geese. Remember, with half square triangles, this is going to be your cutting line, as opposed to flying geese, where that's your stitch line. We're going to stitch 1/4 inch on both sides of this line that we just drew, because we're doing 2 at a time half square triangles. Okay, now I'm going to cut on that cut line. And that's going to leave me with 2 half square triangles. I'm going to finger press them to the dark. Be careful when you're doing this that you don't stretch it, because you are pressing along the bias. I'm going to take these and I'm going to square them up to the size indicated in the pattern. Do that with both of them. When I'm doing this, I'm making sure that I'm aligning my 45-degree mark on my ruler with the seam in that half square triangle. Okay, all right, I've got both of those squared up and ready to go. Okay, so you can see here how it's starting to come together. Now, I do need to pause and I'm going to press this flying geese unit and give it a quick trim, and then I'll be ready to start assembling my units. Okay, everything's trimmed up, squared up, and ready for me to start assembling my units. I'm going to start with this pinwheel in the center. I'm going to get that 4 patch together, and I'm going to nest. See how I'm going to nest these pieces here? Those 2 seams are going to nest together just like that, and that's going to make those angles come together really nicely and keep your pinwheel design. When I was pressing all of these, I pressed them all to the dark. So now you can see when I'm opening them up, after nesting that, I've got that perfect little pinwheel design there. Okay, I'm going to do the same with the bottom half of my pinwheel. I'm just nesting those 2 seams in there together. I'm going to put a pin right in it so it doesn't shift on me. Okay. Open it up. Again, I got my perfect little pinwheel design there. Now I'm ready to stack these together, and the way that I'm going to do that, I need to press to one side in the top row of this 4 patch and the other side in the bottom row of this 4 patch so that I can continue nesting my seams and getting a good fit there. That's also going to reduce your the bulk there a little bit in the center. You could open this up and do an open your seams there, but I prefer just to nest them this way. Okay, there we go. And let's see our pinwheel. Look at that. All right, that's beautiful. Just need to give it a press. I'll give it a press when I do the pressing of the whole block. Now I'm ready. I'm gonna put my rows together, all 3 rows. So on this row, I'm gonna do the same thing that I just did. I'm gonna nest those 2 seams together, stick a pin in it so it doesn't move. Same thing here. Nest them, pin it. My needle came unthreaded. I use this machine has an automatic thread cutter, and every now and then it will cut the thread a little bit too short, and then I'll have to rethread real quick. But you'll see me, if you follow my tutorials very much, you'll see that this machine, I use the knee lift and the thread cutter quite a bit because it lets me sew a little more quickly and be a little more hands free. Okay, there we go. Got it. All right, that top row, see how nicely when you nest those seams, how those points come out? Next one. All right, now I'm going to be bringing together a flying geese unit with this pinwheel. So I want to line the center of that flying geese up with this seam in that pinwheel 4 patch. Then I'll line up my corners. And when I stitch this one, I want to put my flying geese unit at the top. That way I can watch and make sure that I don't lose my points. Okay. There we go. See how I didn't lose my point? I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to line up the center of that flying geese unit, that point of the center of the point with that seam. And then I've just put a pin in it so it doesn't shift on me. Again, I put my flying geese unit on the top so I could watch and make sure that I didn't lose my point, and I've got it. Okay, that's ready to press. On these, I'm going to nest that seam just like I did in the top rows. Same thing here, just nest those seams, stick a pin in it so it doesn't shift on you. There we go. All right, now I am going to press it away from my flying geese units on all 3 rows, and that's going to allow me to nest these seams. I'm going to nest the seams also where those angles are coming together. I want to center that 4-patch pinwheel with the center of that flying geese unit. Nest the seams. And nest the seams here. that row together. That's beautiful. Next row. Nesting my seams and pinning it so it doesn't shift. Pinning the center of the point of my flying geese unit with the center of that 4-patch pinwheel unit. It's a lot of seams to match up. Take all my pins out. Okay. And there we go. All we've got left to do is give this one a quick press and it'll be done. And then we'll square it up. So that's the goodness, which one are we on now? That is the pinwheel star block. Pinwheel star block. I did find the pattern a little bit confusing because it's got the pinwheel star block and the sawtooth star with the pinwheel center. And the last one we're going to do is that pinwheel center one. There are two blocks with the pinwheel center. This is the larger pinwheel. There's going to be a smaller pinwheel that we'll do here shortly. So there's pinwheel star block 2. Remember, we need 2 of everything. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of our 6 blocks made. We've just got 2 left to go. Our next one is going to be the Ohio star, and then we'll finish out with that sawtooth star with the pinwheel center. All right, just 2 more blocks to go.